Welcome everybody, Green Assassin here, and today I am bringing you a crash landing tutorial on an automated tree farm. Basically I've set two of them up. One's running off of saplings to make water, and the other one is running off of leaves to make water. And in the long run I found that this one gets more water but uses more power. This one gets you less water but probably uses less power. And these two setups that I have right here, I only have two generators running on them. I did one of these in my Let's Play and I have about 6 engines hooked up to it, and it seems to run a little bit better. It's still got a huge power drain. As you can see over here, I've got one with 8 generators. It seems to be not too bad. It keeps the fluid transposer with just enough power to supply it with the power, because this thing takes about 40 RF per tick, and these generators, 8 of them is just enough power just to feed this thing with power. Right now I've killed all the power sources on these because I'm having lag issues and my audio is not coming out all that well, so I'm trying to work on that and figure out how to fix it. But anyways, we're gonna try this out and we're gonna come over here. I have a little 3x3 of dirt set up to grow the saplings on. What I'll do, my computer will stop lagging, is I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to plant these saplings on this dirt and try and get a tree to grow. And then I'm going to come underneath, and right in the middle I'm going to put a planter. Consume task on. I want that to be set to off, and then that way it won't eat up any extra saplings that it gets in here. So the next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to take some of this inventory cable from Steve's factory manager. We're just going to lay it out underneath the planter. We're going to bring it up to the surface right about there. While I'm down here, I might as well throw the hardened energy cell here and hook this up and put a piece right there for now. While I'm down here, I'm going to configure it. So I'm going to the configuration. I'm going to shift click the middle. And then I'm going to set the top to output and the right side to output. And then the face of it I'm going to set to input. So now that that's done, I'm going to lay out some more of this inventory cable. As you can see, I've already got holes, or the dust cleared out. I've been trying to make this tutorial video turn out, but I keep having problems with the audio. So we're just going to lay the inventory cable in this trench that I have dug out already. And then I'm going to take the harvester and I'm going to put it on top of this redstone energy conduit right there. And then the reason that I'm not putting an inventory cable right here is because I found when the tree grows, the harvester can't put the items into the inventory cable. I don't know why. I've tried targeting all sides. It doesn't like this setup. So what I do instead is I put a chest down right behind the harvester, and then that way anything that comes the harvester harvests goes into the chest. I'm also going to change the setting on the inside of the harvester to sheer leaves, yes, and that'll get me the leaves that I want to transpose into the water. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a fluid transposer right there. I'm going to put my furnace right there. And then I'm going to take some X Nilo barrels and I'm going to put 2 of them right there. And we can get rid of that. And then I'm going to take Let's get rid of all this because I'm done with that. I don't need it anymore. I'm going to take some of these barrels from Java, the better barrels, and I'm just going to put 6 of them down right here. And I'm going to take 2 drums and I'm going to put them on the end of the inventory cable right there. And then over here I should have 8 inventory cables. So we're going to lay 8 of these generators out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm sorry guys if my voice seems a little crackly or you hear sniffling in the background. I'm just getting over a cold. But I really wanted to get this video out to you guys. Like I said, I've already tried recording this once and one of the videos messed up on me, so I have to redo it. But anyways, back to what we were doing. In the fluid transposer, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna configure it right now. So I shift click the middle and I'm gonna change this one to blue, the back side of it. I'm going to make the top yellow and I'm going to make the bottom red. So now I haven't clicked this yet, but you have to click this toggle to fill, so that way the leaves that go in here will get transposed into water. And then as soon as I did that, you seen this turns yellow, so that's my water output. This one's my sapling output, and then this one's my leaves input. So now that I'm done with all of that, let's get rid of that stuff. I shouldn't need that either. And I'm going to take these down to my inventory. And I'm going to set up my better barrels to what I want them to be. So this one I'm going to make wood, and then leaves, vines, saplings, charcoal, and dirt. And I have one too many barrels, so we'll just knock that one out. So that's basically the setup that I'm going with for this tutorial. While I'm here, I'm gonna set up this energy conduit like so. Just hook all this up so it's already ready to go. So the generators will, once they start running, will dump all their power into that energy cell. And then over here I'm just going to connect up this fluid transposer. Maybe I should have moved that over one. I don't really like the cables sticking out right here because it makes it so the tree has a harder time growing. But whatever, this is just a tutorial, so we'll just leave it for now. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, let me fix this because I forgot to put the inventory manager in place. And I'll be right back with you guys. Okay guys, I'm back with you. I've fixed my little mistake that I had. All I did was I forgot to put a machine inventory manager right here. You don't have to do it in this type of setup. You can pretty much lay this out however you want. This is just for the tutorial. You just got to make sure that this inventory cable is touching whatever you're trying to program in the inventory manager to automate. So I've pretty much got everything ready to go. The last thing I wanted to do was I just want to lock these barrels so that way they'll only receive whatever items displayed on them. So if I were to take that item out, it still says jungle wood, so only jungle wood will go into this barrel. So let's get started. I'm going to open up the inventory manager. And the first thing I'm going to start out with is I'm going to start with my variables. And I'm going to make about 8 of these, I think. The first 6 of them, what I'm going to do is set up each barrel that I have on this line. So the first one I'm just going to call logs. And that'll be the jungle wood logs that I get from this. Variable is what color you want to set it to. I'm just going to leave it on the default white. The container types I never really change. I don't know if it matters if you change them or not. I don't have a problem just leaving them default. So now in containers, I'm going to come down here, and if you see, we got all the different things that are attached to the inventory cable. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to find out where this barrel is, because this is my logs barrel. And if we look underneath the map, it says 210 by minus 110. And if we go left and right, the x-axis is changing, and it's getting bigger as we go along the barrels. So our first barrel is at 210. So if we come back in here and we go logs, and we go container, this barrel is located at 210 by negative 110. So this is the one that the wood's in. So I'm going to select that one, and we're going to close that. And I'm just going to move it over here to the side so it's out of the way. I'm going to create another variable. And this one I'm going to name leaves. And we're going to select the next color in the line. You can select whatever colors you guys want. I'm just making it easier for the tutorial. And then we're going to select the next barrel, which is 211. And we'll save that and make sure it stays there. And yeah, I'm just going to keep doing this for each of the barrels. So the next one we want is vines. So let's change that one to purple, and then we'll come in here and we'll find the next barrel along the line. And then up here, oh, I really got to change that preference. We're going to change this to vines, save it, and then slide it over here. The next one is for saplings. Container will be pretty sure the one at 213. We'll change the name of it to saplings. Save it, close it, move it. The next one is going to be for charcoal. So we'll name this one charcoal. We'll go into the color and we'll change it to the next one that's not being used. And then we'll find our next container. Should be the second last one. And now we want one more for the barrels. And I'm going to name this one is going to be dirt. We'll change the color to green. And then just scroll down and find the last barrel on the line. Save that, close that, and move it over here. So now I'm going to make two more variables. And this first one, I'm going to name it dirt barrels. And you'll see why in a second. I'm going to change the color to pink. I think that's pink. And then we're going to select the two X Nilo barrels. And that's just going to make it easier to find later on. So that one's done. And now the last variable I want to make is going to be, let's let's just select the color, and I always skip the dark gray or the gray variable just because it's kind of hard to read. So I always go to the light gray variable, and I also skip the black variable because that one's really hard to read. So now this one we're just going to call water, and in the container types we're going to scroll down, and we have these two drums right here. So we're going to select those, and then that's the last variable I have for this. So now that's got all these different things on this end of the line set to different variables. And the reason I do that is just because when I'm programming, it makes it a little bit easier to find them. I don't have to constantly come out and look at what barrel's at what location to try and figure out what barrel I'm trying to use in the programming. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a command group. And basically what I want this command group to do is take everything out of this chest and put it into these barrels so that my chest doesn't get overfilled with wood or vines or leaves or saplings or dirt. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this command group, and I'm going to rename it just before we go into it. I'm going to call it sorting, and then that way I know what this command group does for me. We'll save that, and then we'll go into it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a trigger, and I'm just going to leave the trigger on the default settings, which is on an interval of 1, and connection should be set to on interval. And then I'm going to create an input and put it underneath. I'm going to create an output. And if you notice that my thing kind of looks like it's snapping to a certain spot in the page, it's because I'm holding shift, and it just kind of makes everything line up a little bit nicer. So it doesn't do stuff like that, it just keeps it more organized. So now in the input, what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to select the diamond chest, and I'm going to target the down side of it. I don't think it really matters what side you select because it's a chest you can pull in or pull out of and put in from any side of the chest. So that doesn't really matter. And then in the items, I'm going to blacklist items because I want it to pull out all the items in the chest. If you want to leave like a certain thing in the chest, you can whitelist it so that it'll only pull certain items out, or you can blacklist that item and it won't pull that item out of the chest. But I'm just going to set it to default blacklist, no items selected. So now on our output, what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to select down here in the inventories, I'm going to select the show all variables, and I'm going to select each one of my variables that I set up for the different items in the barrels. So I'm not going to select these two because they'll be used later on in the tutorial. Under the targets section, I'm going to select the down and activate. Because with the barrels, I don't think it matters what side you select. I just use the down because it's easier. And I'm going to leave this set to blacklist because I don't really need to whitelist or blacklist anything. So now we're going to connect this, all these little knobs to each other. And if we come out and we take a look in the chest is empty now. And if we look over here, we have stuff going into the barrels. Well, vines, leaves, and wood, because that's everything that's going to get dumped into this chest. And while I'm here, I'm just going to quickly grab these out, and I'm going to plant another tree, because we only have one sapling left. And we'll put these back in the barrel. So now that that's done, I'm getting to about the wrapping up point of this first part of the tutorial. I don't want to make the episodes too long. I'm trying to keep them at about 20 minutes long each. So So next episode we will come back and I will show you a bit more of the programming on what I plan on doing for the rest of this system. If you guys like this video, please hit the like button. It really helps me out. If you want to know when the next episode or the next part of this tutorial is uploaded, hit that subscribe button and you'll be notified when a new video gets uploaded. And I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one.